let's continue with number 5. We just did number 4. Again, you want to graph this thing. The vertex, you're going to find it by doing x equals negative b over 2a. The b value is 2. The a value is negative 1. So the b value is 2. The a value is negative 1. So that means you're going to have x equals negative 2 over negative 2, which means that x equals 1, right? And that is your x value of your vertex. So let me put the 1 right here. The x value of your vertex is 1. So once you have your x value, how do you find your y value? Once you have your x, how do you find your y? Plug it in. That's right. So my equation, I want to rewrite this exact equation. Now what I want to do is I want to pretend it says y equals right in front. Y equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 4. Check it out. So there's my equation, but with parentheses instead of x. And like I said, I want to plug in 1 into the x values and work it out. So if I plug in a 1 right there, let's kind of try to do this in our heads. What is 1 squared? 1. And you have a negative in front. So that's really going to be a negative 1, okay? This whole thing right here is a negative 1, okay? And then we have plus 2 times 1 is 2. So you really have, let me write over here, negative 1 plus 2, and then a minus 4 at the very end. I got that plus 2 from here and the minus 4 right there. So if I go negative 1 plus 2 minus 4, what do I get? Negative 3. And there it is. Negative 3 for the y value. So the next part of graphing, once you have your vertex, we already know the vertex is 1, negative 3. So let's go to the vertex 1, negative 1, 2, 3. Put a dot right there. Right here. And you're supposed to draw your axis of symmetry going right through that vertex. And then you need more coordinates. So you could go to an XY table and plug in some numbers like 0 and negative 1, or you could plug in like 2 and 3, whatever you want. Or you could say, wait a minute, the a value is a negative 1, so I could use the pattern. When your a value is 1 or negative 1, you could use the pattern 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9 from the vertex. So it's up to you. If you want to plug in 0 and use the XY table, go for it. If you plug in 0, 0 plus 0 minus 4, that's going to give you a negative 4. So you could actually go to the coordinate 0, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could use the pattern from the vertex 1 over 1 down, and you'll get to that same point. Now here's the bottom line. You want to find the x-intercept values, because the x-intercept values are your solutions. Yes? Okay, so if I already know that this is opening down, is it ever going to cross the x-axis? No. So what's my answer? Yeah, no solution is my answer. You would say no solution. Or you could put the symbol. There is no answer to this original equation. Entiende? Once again, the answers are the x-intercepts. So if I tell you, what's the answers? It's like saying, what are the x-intercepts? So you already know it's opening down. If I ask you, where does it cross the x-axis? Well, it doesn't cross the x-axis. It doesn't have any x-intercepts. What does that mean? That it doesn't have any solutions. Let's move on to number 6 right here. So let's start by finding the vertex by doing x equals negative b over 2 times a. The b value is what? Negative 6. The a value is what? 1. Okay, so we're really going to have a 6 on top over a 2 on the bottom, and that's really just 3 for the vertex value of x. So here's a v for vertex. I want to put a 3 right here for my x value. Now what's my y value going to be? I need to take this 3 and plug it in right there and right here. And I need to work it out. So let's kind of do this in our head here. What's 3 squared? 9. Okay, so let me just write a 9 right here. And what is 6 times 3? 18. So it's really going to be a 9 minus an 18 plus 4. So what's 9 minus 18? Negative 9. And then, this is negative 9. Negative 9 plus 4? Negative 5. So we found the y value of the vertex. Now we could actually go to the graph 3, negative 5. So on the origin, you go 1, 2, 3 on the x, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot right there. Everybody with me? Okay, now what's the second part, the second step of graphing after you find the vertex? Axis of symmetry, which in this case is x equals 3. Now we need more points. What could we do? XY table? Sure, no problem. Or you could use the pattern. Whatever you want. Okay? So, what do you guys feel like doing? Using the pattern or going with the XY table? Okay, we'll do both, but let me just show you. Using the pattern's 1, 1. So from the vertex, I'm at the vertex. Now you could go left or right, or you could do both, doesn't matter. 1 over, 1 up. Let's put a dot right there, yeah? Well, again, 1 over, 1 up. That's the dot right there. Let me go in red better. Right there. Now let's go back to the vertex. You don't continue from here. You go back to the vertex and you go to your next pair of numbers on the pattern, which is 2 over 4 up. Remember, it's 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. Let me write that down. 1, 1, 2, 4, and 3, 9 at the very end. Okay, so we already did 1, 1. Now let's go 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Everybody with me? And now let's go for the final one, 3, 9. From the vertex, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, way up here. Are you with me? And now we could reflect it over on the axis of symmetry. So if this was 1 unit away from the axis of symmetry, go 1 unit away and put a dot right there. If this guy was 2 units away, so go 2 units away and put a dot right there. And if that top one is 3 units away, go 3 units away and put a dot right there. So the whole purpose of graphing this guy is to be able to find the x-intercept values, right? Now, let me ask you this. Does it cross at a nice value? No, it doesn't. It doesn't cross at 1. It doesn't cross at 0. It crosses somewhere, like, give me a decimal estimate. Give me a decimal estimate.
0.7.
0.7. That's a great answer right there. 0.7, 0.8, whatever. But you see, the thing is, it's not 1. So on the instructions, it says, if the exact roots up here, if the exact roots cannot be found, what are roots? They're answers. If the exact answers cannot be found, state the consecutive integers the roots are located between, right? So what we're going to say is that this answer, this intercept, you could say it's about 0.7, or you could, what they want you to do is to say it's between 0 and 1. I think the answer 0.7 is even better, but on the answer sheet that I posted on Edmodo, it's going to say between 0 and 1. That's one answer. It's between 0 and 1. Now, what's the other answer going to be? Or where is it going to be? Where's the other x-intercept at?
5.3.
Yeah, it's about 5.3. But the answer sheet that they give on Edmodo is between 5 and 6. But yeah, I would say that it's better to say 5.3 on that one. And I would see up here, it's even better to say 0.7 or 0.7. But the way they give it on the solution worksheet, it says between 0 and 1, and the other one between 5 and 6. Does that make sense? So, ladies and gentlemen, number 7, you could set it up by finding the vertex and then graphing the vertex, making an XY table to find more coordinates, or you could use one of these, right? Graphing calculator. So, the first thing to do would be to rewrite this, pretend it's y equals. So, let's pretend that there's a y equals right in front. And let's ignore the equal 0 part. So let's pretend it says y equals negative x squared minus 4x. And what we're going to have to do is hit the y equals button on our calculator. And it's gonna open up to look like this and go ahead and type in the function that we have up here, negative x squared minus 4x. And then you could put a plus 0 if you want because there is no c value. So I put the plus 0, it's not necessary. You could just leave it as negative x squared minus 4x, and you don't have to put the plus 0. It's completely up to you. If you're looking for the negative button is down here right below the 3. That's a negative button. If you're looking for the x button, you guys see this guy right here? The x, t, theta, n. This is your variable button. So you need to use those buttons to type this up. And once again, you don't need the plus 0. Now, once you have that typed in, you could go ahead and hit the graph button. And once you hit the graph button, you'll see this. This is what you'll see once you graph it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the graphing calculator does it for you. So we are looking for the solutions. And remember, the solutions, the answers, they are the x-intercept values. So this is an answer right here, and this is an answer right here. So 0 is an answer, -1, -2, -3, -4 is also an answer. Now, you could also use this button that's called the trace button, and it'll come up with the cursor, and you could move left and right along the graph until you see where it actually crosses. Okay? So the calculator could do the work for you. I hope this helps, and you could use the calculator right here in class to do the rest of this homework assignment. So just to finish this off, the answer to this one, number 7, is going to be x equals -4 and x equals 0. Okay? Because we saw that on this graph over here, on the graph, it crossed at -4 and at 0. So those are the x-intercepts, which means that those are the answers. X equals -4, x equals 0.